Go for it. Hi guys, Bianca here, and this is Stacy Hackett. She's an absolute fucking legend. If you're wondering whether we're wearing like boob tubes or something, no, we're not. We decided for this chat, well, Stacy kind of plunged us into it, to be honest. She promised her peeps on Instagram and Facebook a naked chat. She just whipped
myself off.
And then I had mine pulled down and I was like, well, I feel like a fraud because I'm just showing my shoulders but actually still wearing a top. So we've decided to just freaking go for it. And part of the reason for this is just promoting liberation, promoting being yourself, promoting being out there, being seen, being heard, being felt for you, not for anything else, just for you. So guys, this is Stacy. I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Thanks, Bianca. Oh my gosh. So we have been having like lots of chats anyway, lots of video chats, just talking about life and in general and what we're creating independently and together. And granted, they're not always naked, but yeah, I just thought, you know, what better way to get vulnerable by, you know, shedding the outer layers and just coming back to the beauty of our nakedness, of our pure, you know, just showing up. So thank you, Bianca, so much for spending.
I'm laughing because my partner walked out when we were about to start this video. He's gone out to the car. He was supposed to go somewhere. I don't know why he hasn't, but I can see that he's still outside. So I'm like, if he comes in and we're recording a video, and he'll be like, what are you doing recording a video like that? So that's going to be interesting. Stay tuned for that, guys.
Yeah, stay tuned for the reaction. Yay. I'm so excited to be spending the morning. Yeah, as I said, like we've been having so many chats lately, but just to be able to share a bit about like what we've been doing each in 2019 and what we plan on bringing into the world for 2020. I know that the light just went. Melbourne weather just turned. It was like
super plunged into darkness.
Maybe it's because my boobs. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we get to talk about the amazing time that we actually met. Probably a good place to start. Oh, I mean, I can introduce myself. I am Stacy. I am half naked for literally, this is how I spend most of my life. Half naked with crazy colored hair, dancing, singing, embracing life, just really being, I don't know, I guess the most joyous, grateful spirit that I can be. That's where I like to like navigate life from. Yeah, and I had the blessing of meeting Bianca last year at a I mean, we say like self-development, personal development, like workshop weekend, but really it was more of a life-changing opportunity definitely for me. You know, I had been doing like lots of, I guess, like deep diving and spiritual work and self-development, and but that was like the catalyst really for so much change for me last year in October. We came together with, oh my gosh, how many people were there, Bianca? Like,
I think it was about 70, 74, somewhere around that mark.
Yeah, like quite a lot of people came together in Melbourne with Preston Smiles and Alexi Panos. And if you guys like don't know who they are or don't follow them, then you need to
follow them.
Get on board with their stuff. And yeah, just like we spent the weekend. So Bianca and I were in the same group, which was what were we called?
We were the raw and something, but we call ourselves Raw Bridges now.
Yeah.
So we'll stay in touch more than a year later, which is awesome.
So there was like a whole crew of us, and yeah, we're still in contact. Like, we're such amazing, like, soul family. We support each other. And yeah, Bianca and like me and you had kept in touch, but we just like fully reconnected recently, and realized that, you know, 2019 for both of us has been a massive year, you know, like I think for a lot of people, you know, we spoke about how 2019 has been this year of like shedding, you know, lots of people, like, things are like dropping away. People are, you know, shedding like identities and shedding layers of themselves. And it's been like a really energetically, you know, quite like a turbulent year. Energetically, with like lots of stuff coming up, lots of stuff coming to the surface. And yeah, I've had a lot of people say to me, especially like because of what's happened within my year, you know, oh my gosh, like, it's been such a shit year for you. All this bad stuff happened. And like we were talking about the other day, it hasn't been shit at all. Like, it's been honestly like one of the best years, if not the best year of my life, because of that, because of everything that's happened and kind of away. And it's allowed me to really like step back into appreciating who I am, like, at my core. And it's really allowed me to see that like life is such a gift, and, you know, to be able to embrace it.
And just to jump in there as well, guys, like Stacey, the stuff she's talking about, the shit that she's gone through, I'm sure she's happy to share.
Yeah, totally.
So it's not like, oh, she stubbed her toe and her workouts got cut. Like, no, it's like she broke up with her longtime partner who like was sort of relying on her for a partnership visa, and the pressures of that, and you know, whatever around that, like just deciding that it's not the right way to go, even though there was nothing wrong, which is even harder, I think, than breaking up with someone when they've done something super bad. It's like, well, there's actually nothing heaps wrong here, but it's just not the right path for me. Stacey's dad also passed away, and she was with him in his final moments and as he passed, which is fucking crazy, like, for anyone who hasn't experienced that to think about. Like, I can't even begin to imagine what that was like. So when she says she's been through shit and people are telling her it's a shit year, this is the kind of stuff that they're talking about, not just like, oh babe, you got a bad haircut. No. So yeah, I'm just in such admiration of you for the journey that you've been on this year and all the growth and development that you've done, because you've just plunged into all this amazing training as well. You've just done a Reiki training over the last weekend. You've done Koya, which is like movement therapy, right?
Yeah.
What else have you done this year?
Training. Yeah, I actually went over to LA, and I did like kind of second part of the workshops that we did, which was leadership, like extreme leadership as well, with Kristen Smiles and Alexi Panos, and that really like, you know, blew things out of the water for me. I've done like advanced like crystal healing courses, and yeah, just a lot of like learning and growth, and really you know, a lot of things that like people are kind of a bit like, oh, you know, it's a bit woo woo, but you know, fuck it, like it speaks to my soul. Like I think that anything that allows you to cut away all the shit, you know, cut away the bullshit, and really get back to like our true essence, our true nature, you know, which is like this unbelievable sense of spirit, and you know, this like sense of self. and just cut through all that with whatever like modalities, or you know, whatever helps you. That's what I've been that's what I've been exploring. And definitely, you know, when my dad passed in July, you know, like he had stage 4 terminal cancer. It was a year of almost a year, it was, from when he was diagnosed. So I went and did the trip to LA, like knowing that, you know, he could kind of pass at like any moment. But I decided to still go and do that because I had to do that for myself, and yeah, knowing full well that he could pass when I was away. But it's that thing about, you know, like about death and knowing that someone is going to die, and do you put your own life on hold, you know? And that was such a massive thing for me in being able to actually like exercise my personal boundaries, you know. And a lot of people were like, oh my God, like your dad might die and you're fucking going traveling. But, you know, it was something that I really had to do for myself, and it strengthened my, like, you know, it's strengthened my growth. And it really allowed me to like appreciate life. And through his death as well, you know, I do have so much gratitude for life. You know, I saw his spirit, like I saw his essence literally like leave his body and become a part of, it went back to the universe. Like I saw his light go back to the light of everything. And now when I look at the clouds and when the sun comes out, you know, when I appreciate just everything that's around me, my dad's spirit is in that, and that has completely changed the way that I see the world. You know, I was pretty fucking grateful for the world like before my dad passed. But to see that we're just this pure like essence within this like shell, and to see, you know, that you are connected to everything. That's been a massive game changer for me in actually like implementing that into every single moment of my life. You know, it's like, fuck, we're only here for a short time. We have this vessel like for a short time, and you know, I want to help people to channel that.
Oh, I don't know what's happened, Stace. Your volume's dropped out. I want to help people to channel that, and then nothing. No, not getting anything. Can't hear you. Can you hear me? You can hear me? No, I've got nothing. Can you pop your microphone like on and off?
Like that.
Oh, here we go. Oh, no. Something came through, like half a word. I don't know why I can't even mute you. I was going to mute and unmute to see if that helped. Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh, it's frozen. We are back. We have had the most fun tech issues over the last like 24 hours or more. But we're back. So Stace was chatting about her dad and just being grateful for everything.
Yeah. It was probably like one of the most life-changing moments was seeing him pass. And then afterwards, you know, just actually knowing that like his spirit is in everything, and like feeling him around me, and, you know, like songs coming on, and yeah, like so many synchronicities, that it just has allowed me to, you know, I mean, just feel like, it feels like there's magic around me and within me all the time, you know. And even after, because I'm not saying that, you know, after like he passed, it wasn't like I was doing fucking cartwheels, and you know, like just feeling so joyous for life, because you do, you know, it's like you lose someone that you love, and they're not there anymore. You know, they might be there like spiritually, and you can feel their presence, but, you know, physically they're not there. And I realized that I turned to my dad a lot, when you know, the shit was going down, and he was kind of like my like voice of reason, and you know, that's not there anymore. So there was some really dark like moments of grief. Like I don't think I had ever allowed myself to really experience grief, or just like sit with it and be with it. You know, I had quite a traumatic like upbringing with my parents, who were both alcoholic, like abusive. You know, my dad like went to jail when I was younger. I really like experienced a lot, and I used drugs and alcohol for a really long time to mask that, because I didn't know how to be with those feelings, and I didn't actually ever allow myself to grieve, you know, for this childhood that I didn't have. And so in my dad passing, and at the same time, like my mum actually contacted me, and we'd spoken once in like 18 years, and she contacted me and used that opportunity to pretty much abuse me. So, you know, it was like I lost my dad, no partner for the first time in like 10 years. You know, I had to like cut my mum out of my life. And I honestly had some days where I would just sit like in my room and cry and cry and cry, and just felt like I was alone, because I was, you know, it was like, wow, this is what it's like to be alone. And I really only have me, you know. So I just, through that though, like I learned to fucking love myself so much. It was like, oh my gosh, like I have been through the shit, and I'm here, and I'm a fucking, like I'm a sovereign state, like it's me, it is just me, and it's like I can actually do anything. Like I am a total warrior woman, and I love life. And, you know, it's like, just because I'm sitting here and I'm crying, it doesn't mean that, you know, I'm weak, or you know, it really did allow me to kind of experience like all emotions, and realize that that's all within us. And, you know, we get to embrace it all. And yeah, even in the grief, it was like I have so much gratitude for, yeah, everything that I've been through this year. Yeah, like that's you know, that's life. Like,
So fucking cool. Yeah, it totally is. Everything you're saying, I'm like, yes, obviously. Like, obviously it doesn't mean you're weak. Obviously it can mean whatever you want it to mean. And that's, you know, our blessing and our curse. The meaning we put on things, you know, defines us, defines our life, defines whether it's good, bad, you know, ecstasy or absolute hell. And I think that's really important, and something that I know we're looking to work on as well, with the ladies that are coming next year, because, yeah, labels and identity are huge.
yeah.
And we were having a laugh the other day together, because we were talking about how people have been saying to you it's a shit year, and how, like, that's also a decision. Like, you can have a shit moment, or you can have a shit day, or you can have a shit week, or you can drag it out. Like, and like the changing of date and the, like, time is a made up concept. Like, it's like, oh, this is a shit year, please make it stop. Oh, thank God, December 31st is coming. I can't wait for it to be over. And then giving themselves permission to move forward, where like they could do that right now.
Yeah, you just, and I mean, I know that like, so, you know, we're talking about like Alexia and Preston, like in their workshops and stuff, you know, so they talk about pivoting. They talk about like this pivot, and, you know, you literally, it's your choice. It's a choice that you make of okay, yeah, like, is 2019 going to be a shit year? I'm going to wait until January 20th, and then it's all going to miraculously be better because, it's like, well, yeah, so I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait for like the next, like 3 months, 2 months. And then, once it's 2020, I can start afresh. And you're so right. It's like, no, well, you can actually just pivot and you can decide in the moment that, no, like, this is a choice that I'm making. Am I choosing to sit in the shit? Which sometimes, you can like do. It's not like we have to be high vibing and, like fucking over spiritualizing and being like, oh, well, like, I'm super grateful. It's fine. I took 2 days of like legit just sitting in my room, just crying and crying and crying. And to be in it, I was like, okay, I'm going to be in this moment. But then, after a couple of days and a couple of half naked dances to like move the energy through, I was like, okay, Stace, like, do you want to just be sitting here like all week? Do you want to just sit here all week? Is this what we're going to do? It's like, or are you going to actually, take this feeling, channel this, and, live life.
Mm-hmm.
And living life is like always the best option.
100%.
But yeah, it's so, and I mean, like talking about being in the shit, I mean, because you have, so when we were talking about, segue, because we're talking about like this year, so 2019, I experienced, obviously like a death with my dad. I also feel like I experienced a death of self, of who I perceived that I was, a partner, a daughter, it's that like that, yeah, definite like death of the ego, I guess, which is an amazing thing that comes from destruction. There's this like rebirth, but you actually had a birth, like there's been births, there's been deaths. You had a birth and you're a mama and you're cleaning up big piles of shit.
Literally. If you haven't seen that and you want to, scroll down on my page right now. So it's also been a really interesting year for me because there's been the definite transformation. There's been deaths of part of me for sure. There's been the death of, the certain type of Bianca that was running the coaching business and, putting myself out there in a way that was in some senses conditioned and not necessarily authentic to me, but it's what my mentors of the past had taught me, and it's what was working in my business, and it's what was attracting clients, getting people sharing posts and engaging and that kind of thing. But it was, talk about money because that's what people want to hear about, or, I never actually did this one, but it's like go hire out a really great Airbnb with an amazing view or a pimpin' hotel room and film heaps of content there so that you're like projecting this image of having this rich lifestyle, which to me has never been a thing for the things, like for the material things. No, I'm big on freedom, fun, experiences. So for me, like any creation of money is always going back into growth, into experiences, because I agree with you, like we've got to live life, like not just paint some picture and hide behind it. Like, so definite death there of like an old version of Bianca. And of course, as any parent knows, it is a death of the old you, of the freedom that you had. I remember like when Julian was a newborn going, like I've always been a person that doesn't need that much sleep, like 6 or 7 hours, great, I'm up with the daylight, I'm watching the sunrise. And then when I was pregnant, I was like, okay, I need to surrender to the sleep because I need it. Like, I'm going to need it. I can't just fight it. I can't just keep pushing through. Like, it's best for me and best for this baby if I surrender. So I slept so much. I never loved sleep so much in my whole life. And I started to love sleep, and I'd be like, oh, sleeping tomorrow. Like, oh, I'd get into bed and I'd be like, oh, this is what people have talked about, that I've never actually got this. Like,
Like, oh my
it's
God, this
like,
sleep
oh my
thing.
God, being in bed right now is the best thing ever. I can't wait to like sleep the whole night. And then when Julian was born, like in those first few weeks, you kind of forget sometimes that you can't just choose when you wake up. I mean, you can just let your baby scream all night if you feel like it, but you're probably not going to. So I would go to bed some nights when he was first born and be like, oh, I'm so tired. Like, I can't wait. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. And I'm like, no, you're probably going to be up several times through the night with the baby. You're probably not going to be sleeping in.
Like that whole sleep thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'd learned to love it so much. So things like that definitely change. And I think the definition of who you are and what your life's about and what's important to you in raising this child and, you know, nurturing their soul and allowing them the space, and also in my partnership as well with my partner, like working out what we want as a family unit, like what's best for us, what's best for Julian, really has strengthened that bond between us. Like, we've always been good at decision making, but it's like, okay, now it's crunch time. Now we are like, we're a tribe. Like, this is us, and we're a family unit. And then at the same time, like on the other side of that, something that I know I've spoken to you a lot about, because it's where I was at when we first met, was going through the pregnancy. I experienced a lot of, even though I was on fucking fire for part of the pregnancy and killing it in my business and really getting amazing results with my mentoring clients and things like that, I really took a hit to my confidence. I imagine it must be the hormones that go through you when you're pregnant, and that survival instinct and that wanting to pull in and stay close and safe and in the comfort zone really, really hit me. And I remember showing up to the place where we met, the workshop there we're at, Bridge Experience, and going, and people's first impression of me, we did a real exercise saying things like shy, lonely, and these kinds of things that no one who's known me for a long time would ever describe me like that. But that was in that moment totally true, totally on, like back on. And so that's been a real journey for me as well, to at times it's been a fucking battle. Like, why are you just okay with turning on TV at night and not fucking doing anything towards your dreams? Why are you, you know, why aren't you doing more? Like, you have time, your baby sleeps during the day, you could be doing something. Like a lot of self beat up, and also a lot of coming to terms with things and getting into, yeah, I'm actually cool with this. I'm actually totally at peace with where I'm at right now, which has been, again, like a total journey in itself as well. And then just the constant reminder, like, no matter how tired you are, when you see their little face smiling at you in the morning, it's just like bringing tears to my eyes right now. Like, it's just amazing, and such a reminder that we can just choose, we can pivot. We don't have to hold on to things that we hold on to in life. Like, we do not need to hold on to a grudge, you know, try to force people to be sorry or do things our way or that kind of thing. Like, just be happy. Like, the way that he looks at me and my partner, like, sometimes I'm like, wow, like, I want to look at Freebs like that again. Like, I want to be so fucking happy to see him when I wake up in the morning. Which is not that I go, oh, waking up next to Freebs, but, you know, you lose that magic about everything as an adult, because we start to take things so seriously. And yeah, having a kid is just, it just reminds you of the magic of life. Like, and again, I feel like I'm the same as you. Like, I was always grateful for the little things, and, you know, just in total fucking awe of a sunrise or things like that, and just really feeling the magic of life. But this just takes it to a deeper level. So yeah, it has been.
Minds are like, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? In like how there's so many similarities. There can be so many similarities between like birth and death, you know, is that the like the true essence of someone, in that, you know, in Julian, like you see that true essence, like he literally is just like joy and spirit, and that's what we all are, you know, like we're all just joy and pure spirit, and we get weighed down with all of these things that we like, you know, that we think that we should be doing or achieving, or, you know, we're holding on to like old stories, and we're holding on to traumas that like actually imprint themselves on ourselves, you know, like they weigh us down, like it's a heaviness that we carry around with us. And, you know, I think that that's where like we really like have been, you know, super connecting in that, you know, we both love like things like, you know, just like laughing and dancing and, you know, being in the play and the joy and the fun. That's all this like, it's such a like somatic release of that heaviness and that denseness, and it brings you back to like what our natural state is, which is literally like pure joy and spirit, you know? So it's like shedding, and that has been truly like 2019 has been a shedding of that, you know, of that heaviness, of that weight, of that burden that like we carry, you know. And yeah, I'm so grateful that we like reconnected, you know, so strongly, and that we are coming together, and, you know, bringing just this fucking epicness, like that we like, honestly, it's so, oh my gosh,
so
like yeah,
like,
I'm so fucking excited. Like we're literally going to be pouring like all of this, like, yeah, just epic. I just can't describe it as anything else but fucking epic, for 10 women like in our retreat, but yeah, like, oh, like we're just
words but not working.
Not properly, you know, like we literally are up early, you know, like I'm clocking like 2.5 hours sleep a night, just because
insanity.
Just because I'm so excited about what we're creating, and like creating this content, and just really like pouring everything. I mean, you know, you've been having such, like, as you said, like your year, you know, like even when you were pregnant, like you're so on fire, because I feel like obviously as well, like becoming a mum has really brought out this like authenticity in you of, you know, who you truly are. Like you're an absolutely epic human, and it really just, you know, it shines through. And I'm not surprised that, you know, your clients were having like these amazing results, and yeah, just like even just speaking to you over the last 2 weeks that we have been, you know, brainstorming and like organizing this retreat, like really diving into it. The conversations that we had and why we wanted to do this live, was just because we've been having such amazing conversations, you know, about life, about each other, about what we're achieving, about, you know, the feedback that we're getting from people around us that we're working with, that we connect with. We're like, man, we have to channel this into something that's going to have a ripple effect, so that other women can literally like go out there. And, you know, it is starting in 2020, so it's, you know, it's going to be in January. I mean, if we could do it now, I would do it now.
Don't wait till then, though, guys. Don't wait till then.
Like,
start to transform now.
But yeah, like having this for 10 women at the start of 2020, like, is just going to be an absolute motherfucking game changer. You know, in doing the things that we do like every day, and channeling that into 3 days.
So the 3 things that we've decided to focus on as our main points are remembering the truth of who you are. So being okay, not only okay with yourself, but fucking in love with yourself.
Yeah.
Being cool. Like, I've even forgotten that we're sitting here but half naked, to be honest.
I know, like just being cool.
I was like, oh yeah, shoulders, hello. Being like so in love with yourself, in trust with yourself, interconnected with who you are, what's going on inside you. Because a lot of the time we're running, and a lot of the time I see in personal development, it's all about mindset and focus and drill it in and say it again and yell it. And like, yep, that works on a certain level, but there's more. Like when Stacey said it literally embeds itself in our cells before, that wasn't like, oh babe, literally. Like literally it does. Like that's not a metaphor, that's not being poetic, it's in your cells and it's in your body. And I think that's where we come together so strongly as well, because we've done a lot of the mindset stuff and we've done all that, and we need to work with both. It's about an integration, but it's definitely what we're wanting to focus on is remembering who you are, what power you have within you, and the choice, like the epic choice that you have to pivot, to change, to like drop something, to move forward with something, to hit the accelerator, to totally redefine who you are, just because that's what you've chosen to do. Like not because you've committed to it or you said you would or you've been planning it for ages. You can choose in any moment to create whatever the hell you want. So firstly, it's about remembering that. The next thing that we're big on is releasing, right? You have to release. You have to make room in your life and in yourself for the new to come in. So releasing any emotional baggage, releasing trauma from within yourselves, releasing, fear from within your body, releasing the things that you are clutching onto, that you are fucking being weighed down by and holding on to, so that you can really move forward. And the third thing that we're really big on focusing on for this retreat is reigniting. So it's reigniting that fucking fire, that fun, that passion in your life, that drive and that motivation, and that clarity is a big thing that we're focused on as well. Because if you're not clear on where you're wanting to go, life is scrambled or meandering. It's like you're not really, it's like getting in the car without knowing where you're driving. You're just fucking driving. You're burning fuel, you're going around, you're not really doing or achieving much. But if you know where you're going, even if you don't have a fucking clue how to get there, if you know that destination, you can go, okay, well, I think I need to get over there. So I'll take a turn on this street. That's a dead end, right? I'll go back this way. Maybe I'll try that one. Now I need to think I turn left, and you can wind your way there. But the other thing that we really want people to remember is, and understand, is once you set that destination and you've like really set it, like committed to it internally, things start to show up. And this is to do with our mind, this is to do with our energy, and this is to do with having that focus. Magic will happen. Shit will come into your life. Like things will start to flow in that direction, and it'll manifest. Like people think manifest is like some magic weird word like hocus pocus. No, manifest is a real thing. And even when we say something like stress will manifest itself in your body, it's there. Like you can't say stress is doing nothing. It will show itself in your stomach rupturing, or terminal illness, or migraines, or whatever it is. It will manifest itself within you and within your world.
Yeah.
So
and manifesting isn't like just making an affirmation or like saying something out loud. It's and that's what I've really started to like come into. Manifesting is its embodiment. It's embodying this belief, it's embodying this feeling, and just like we hold on to that, like the cellular kind of trauma that weighs us down, when you manifest and when you believe something and you actually are like emanating that energy, that energetic frequency, the universe, spirit, like the energy that's around us, it literally reacts to that, it responds to that. So you can manifest literally just by embodying something within yourself. You believe it so much. Like I believe so much that I am fucking amazing and I love myself and that I can literally do anything that I set my mind to. Once I manifest that, and that is out there, like resonating like within the universe, then it doesn't have any other option than to respond with that to me. You know, we could like talk about manifesting like all sorts of crazy stuff, like, you know, manifesting money, because, you know, you set the intention out there that it's going to happen for you. But, you know, it's really about, yeah, it's not just about having an affirmation. It's not about just saying something. It's about actually believing it. And the amazing thing where, you know, we have realized that coming together in this retreat is that both of, you know, the tools that both of us have, the things that we've learned, all of like the studies, everything that we've been doing, we're bringing it all together so that these women can have these same tools, you know, and it's about getting back to having this awareness of self, of how amazing you are, how fucking magical you are, and then using these tools and integrating them into your life, and manifesting that energy, you know, and the experience of the retreat all throughout 2020, like all throughout the rest of your life, you know, really like just fucking powerfully coming into yourself and remembering that you have this like amazing spirit and you can do anything that you want to do with your life.
100%.
It's an amazing choice that we make.
Yeah, it is. And it's through those things. It's through remembering who you are. It's through letting go of the other shit and igniting that flame within you and that passion within you and that fun within you. And I think that's the thing that's exciting me most about this is that we get to help. Well, we get to have a shit ton of fun, like regardless, like we're going to be dancing, we're going to be laughing, we're going to be moving. I don't doubt there's going to be tears. I want there to be some discomfort for people because they're going to be overcoming stuff, but it's also like moving through that and shifting that and allowing people to fully embody and experience that. That's what I'm excited about, because it's not going to be, like I say, like sit in a seminar and learn and think about it. Like it's going to be so much fun. There's going to be so much play, and there's going to be something created there that is forever. And I remember going to a retreat once and someone saying that, you know, the energy of everyone who's there comes in and it's through, you know, pressure that diamonds are created, but like through even connection, you're creating something, you're creating a gem. And that's basically what it's about as well. Like if you look at Stacy and I and you think, wow, they're like really bouncing off each other. We met for a weekend. We've literally spent 2 days in person together. And we just have such a deep family bond, not only between us, but like the 10 people who were in our team for that weekend. I love them. Like I honestly, not just, I know, I literally love them like my family. Like they are my bridge family, but they are really, really special to me. And that's something that this is about as well, because when you're going through transformation, like we have in the last year, we've had that group to call on. We've had that group to share our wins with. We've had that group to go back to and be like, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe this has happened, whether it's good or bad, right? Like I'm going through some shit right now. Someone help me out. We are there for each other. And that's something as well that's going to just amplify everything that we're doing. It's like, yeah, you get the results. Yeah, you have a good time. Great. But after that 2 days, what happens? Well, now you've got a family to support you through your growth, through the next year, through the next decade, throughout your life. Like, and that's something that is absolutely priceless as well.
Yeah. And a lot of people talk about, you know, there's like this real like buzzword, you know, like tribe, you know, like my soul tribe, but honestly, like, you know, I mean, it can sometimes sound a bit cliched, but they are like soul, family, tribe, you know, it's just, that's one of the things about the retreat is that, you know, you're going to be going, and we're going to go on it. We are like, there's going to be tears, there's going to be laughter, there's going to be, you know, possibly like nakedness, but it's going to be a fucking journey, you know, and you come out of there and like the things that we've experienced, you know, going to like workshops, and you honestly feel like you've been to war. with these people. You know, it's the only way that I can describe
Yeah,
it,
with them by your side. Yeah.
And you can't quite explain it to other people, but it honestly, like, I would do anything for my bridge fam. I would do anything for, I've met other people at, like when I was in LA, I honestly, like, I wake up at like 2:00 in the morning to FaceTime with these people, you know, because we've been through something, and it like speaks to my soul, and I am here for support, and I know that they support me, and we hold each other up to the highest, you know, we challenge each other, you know, and that's something that has also helped. I know, like Bianca and I, it's helped with my growth as well. You know, in the moments that I was feeling like, you know, fuck, I've got no one, like I've got no mum, I've got no dad, I've got no partner, you know, I'm alone. And then, you know, after like actually realizing that I'm not alone, you know, I'm my own person, and I love myself, and I'm here for myself. However, I have family all across the world. You know, I've got my bridge fam, I've got, you know, these people aren't related to me, but I know that they would do anything for me as well. And that's what I know both of us, like, we know that the women that come to this retreat that we're running in Bondi, that they're going to have that same support, they're going to have that same feeling, they're going to have that same soul family, and it helps you. You know, because these people, they're there to support you, they're there to love you, but they also fucking call me out of my shit.
Yeah, they call you and they challenge you to be your best self, but they also get you, and this is not just saying it, like they get you more than most people in your life do.
Yeah.
They get you more than the colleague you sit next to every day, because they've been there and seen your soul, seen you work through your shit, seen you admit things you're ashamed of and move through. Seen you, you know, face your fears, seen you, and not only seen you, but witnessed and been with and held space for you through that, in the most supported way, rather than, you know, family and friends, often they only know what we project out. And, you know, sometimes people are in marriages or relationships, or their family don't know, and then they, you know, commit suicide or do something, and people are like, oh, I didn't know, like I had no idea. These people get you, they get your power, your inner strength, because you're going to come to this retreat and be the real you. You're going to unveil the truth of who you are. And some people in your life, most people in your life probably haven't seen that, because you're playing into being the wife, being the mother, sacrificing for everyone else. You know, you're not standing in your power every second of every day, but these people are going to see you like that for a lot of the weekend, which is really, really cool.
And then that's how you get to go out, you know, into the world. Like,
exactly. You don't stop that in the weekend. Good call, Stace.
Yeah. So it's going to be 3 days. And then you're like, okay, put my mum hat back on. I mean, you know, although the mum hat is great. But yeah, it's just, it will really allow people to, you know, to drop a lot of the masks and the stories, and, you know, things that we kind of like, things that we, I guess, you know, hide behind, and just really bring these women and bring ourselves, you know, because we're going on the journey as well. And, you know, I know that for both of us, like within coaching, and, you know, when I run like healing sessions, and, you know, I put so much into it, you know, I know that you probably are the same. And you also receive so much as well. You know, I receive so much when I'm taking someone through a healing. You know, we do yoga, we do crystal healing, we do Reiki, we do somatic like dance release. You know, by the end of it, I'm just charged. Like, I've got so much energy. You see these people come from feeling like broken and breaking down, and you can feel like the energy, and they need to release it, and you support them and you help them do that. And then by the end of it, you know, we're literally like dancing around crazy, like shaking this energy out, and they have like this massive smile on their face, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is just the best feeling ever, because they've literally gone on a journey themselves of sitting with that heaviness, realizing that they're holding on to something, they're making a story up about it, and then they just fucking release it, and then they come back to like this just effervescent like spirit and joy and play, and you can see like who they actually are, and they're like, oh my god, can I feel like this all the time?
Yes,
and you fucking can. Like legit come to our house and you can feel like that all the time. Come to our retreat,
yeah. And I'm the same when I run sessions with people. I've moved a lot of laughter into my coaching as well now, and I'm like, yeah, I honestly, like, I get so much from it, and I feel charged, and I feel excited for that person as well, helping them shift through their shit, take on a new like mantra for life and a new perspective, and go, fuck yeah, like, yes, I can do this. Yes, I can have what I want, and I can create it, and I can go out and take charge and choose whatever I want in my life. And I feel so, yeah, they do. They feel happy. They feel excited. They feel light and energized, not heavy and fucking the world's upon me and this is so hard. Like they might have come into the session.
Yeah, so good. And I know that it's one thing that yeah, like, you know, I mean, they say that like kids laugh, however, a 7-year-old laughs however many times a day, you know, and adults don't. But like seriously, I know from us like having conversations, you know, like we're literally like planning this retreat and like looking at caterers and all that kind of stuff, and we're like legit, we're on the phone until we were like video chatting until like almost 1 a.m. the other day. And we're pissing ourselves laughing, and we're just having like the most amazing time. And that, you know, that's the beauty of life. You know, we could have been sitting there like, oh my God, it's almost 1 o'clock. We've got to get this stuff done. Technology's not working. You know, but it's like, it is what it is. And, you know, you like either appreciate it for the moment that it is, and you can laugh about it. And, you know, and then have gratitude, or you can sit in it and complain about it. And, you know, what I know the energy that I would rather be cultivating. So,
yeah. And I think, the thing that I got from what you were saying a second ago as well was like, that's the fun. Like you can create your life and have a fucking good time doing it, rather than being like, oh, I want to make this money, but that's so hard. And how do I do this? And how do I do that? And like, get out of your head, like just have fun in the moment with whatever's there and move forward. And then from there, like you're saying, pivot and go, okay, cool, and now I'm moving this way, and now this is what I feel like is right to do, and that kind of thing. So
having
guys,
I was just going to say, having a sense of like your own intuition, you know. I did this intuition like course over the weekend, and we've really like lost we've lost our intuition, you know.
We're trained out of it as kids, because you go to school and there's a right answer and a wrong answer, and you've got to think about it and use your head, and like our society trains us out of using what is innate to us, which animals have. And you're like, how does my dog know a storm's coming? Oh, it must be its hearing. Well, it also has, it's switched on in its intuition as well. Not just its hearing.
You know, like it feels. And that's the thing, you know, people like can become quite disconnected, you know, from this feeling, because we're so like conditioned to really like, you know, don't feel it, you know, or like, it's this kind of like disassociation with, oh, I don't want to feel bad, so, you know, I don't want to sit with that. Or really like people have become a lot more disconnected from feeling things like within their body. And that's where like self-awareness comes from, and that's where intuition comes from, because, you know, you feel it like in your gut. So many people say it, like, oh, I just had this gut feeling. It's like, well, what's your fucking intuition? And you can intuitively like feel into your life. And just as soon as we started talking about putting this retreat together, you know, because it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of time, and it's investment, and you know, it's in January, so we haven't really like given ourselves heaps of time, but intuitively I felt it in my body, and I was like, like we have to do this. you know, and I mean, I'm like leaving, I literally leave the week after. So amidst like running the retreat, I'm packing up my whole life and moving to
the
LA.
other side of the world.
And it's like just the week after, I'm like, oh yeah, you know, just running a retreat and packing up my life, moving to LA. But not saying that, you know, we're not going to be like doing other things together, because I know that we've got like awesomeness planned.
Totally.
Which stay tuned. But just for like some more details about the retreat, because we are going to be going live today. Bianca we've been having technical issues with the fucking
everywhere.
Oh.
We've broken a website. We've tried a Facebook Live where Facebook have shut down joint lives, which is why we're on Zoom right now. Yes. What else have we had? Oh, I couldn't even turn my camera sideways when we tried to go live because I'm on a new phone. We've had plenty of tech issues. And then Stacey's volume dropped out earlier, as you guys heard. But we keep going because we know that where there's a will, there's a way. And this is all the stuff that we've been talking about is going to be so embodied in this retreat as well. But I think what you're about to say is that we will have a site by the time this goes up. We will have a web page. We're going to drop the link in so that you guys can see the details, what we're focused on throughout this retreat. You can read it for the people who are like, can you send me something to read? It's there for you, but also get out of your head. Feel it. Like if you don't feel it and if you think, oh, this could be a good idea, no, it's feel like you will know if this is calling to you. You will know if this is right for you and if it's a good move for you to make. And if you've got a bit of fear around it as well, that's also totally normal because sometimes when we're taking a big step and we're, you know, making a leap of faith and we're choosing to step up and change, it's human to be scared.
Yeah.
So don't confuse scared for being like, oh no, that's not right for me.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes fear, and I really like this saying, it's like sometimes fear is actually the compass. Like
it's pointing you in the direction that you need to go. Yeah.
Pointing you in the direction that you need to know, that you need to go. And if you're not, like, if you don't have that sense of fear, then, yeah, maybe that's like your intuition telling you that it's going to be too easy for you or, you know, you don't need to be doing this. But if you have like a bit of fear around it, because what we're asking is for these 10 women to come, like we're providing everything else, you know, the accommodation is all sorted. It's an amazing like luxe villa Bondi. We're going to have like full amazing vegan catering, you know, we're going to be facilitating so that you literally just have to show up. But when we say show up, it's not like buy a plane ticket, you know, get there and it's going to be a pampered weekend. It's literally like show the fuck up because this is your life and you get to live it from this fucking epic place every day. And we're going to work with you and we're going to actually come on that journey and show you how to do it. But you have to show up, you know, show up for yourself.
You have to bring you, like all of you, and be ready to play, be ready to go deep, be ready to release. Like that's what we're asking. But
and we're going to have fucking fun along the way, and there's going to be tears and there's maybe going to be tantrums and but it's going to be just absolutely phenomenal. And I actually can't wait to see you again.
I know.
Like, in person. I mean, if not anything else, like we get to spend some time together in person, not naked on Zoom,
and experience each other's stuff as well. Because like I've told Stacey about like stuff that I've done with clients that she's like, whoa. And when I first suggested this idea, Stacey had just told me about a one-on-one session she'd done with someone, and I was goosebumping like a motherfucker. And I was like, so I'm wanting to run a retreat at the start of next year, and I think this is perfect. Like what you're doing sounds epic and so I'm so looking forward to experiencing that. But guys, we will wrap it up there. We're going to pop the link in. If you feel the call, click in. If you feel further like, yes, this is amazing. This is for me. This is all good. Then go for it. If you're wondering why just a side note, if you're wondering why the menu is vegan, it's for keeping everything clean and switched on,
like
so that there's no
lights.
like laggy, like, oh, I just had a burger for lunch and now I need a siesta. That's the reason for it. We're not trying to convert you to being a vegan. That's none of that. It's just purely about having the most high vibe, enriching foods that are going to allow you to think clearly, to move freely, and to feel the best that you can be, because that's what we're wanting you to understand and remember on this retreat as well.
Completely. And yeah, it's all going to be organized for you, you know, it's all going to be amazing, and we're pouring so much love and joy and play and fun, and just, you know, so much of our spirit is going to be in there. And we're asking for 10 empowered goddesses to join us on this journey, and just so that we can, I mean, I guess hold that space, but also just go through this journey with each other and with these other women for the start of 2020. Like, it's going to be a massive decade. 2019 was all about shedding. It was all about shedding layers, letting go of who you think that you are. And so 2020 is this like amazing energy of who you get to be. And what perfect time for us to have this retreat.
Mm-hmm.
So excited.
Cool. Stace, thanks so much for jumping on and getting us naked today, or half naked. We'll be real, guys. We kind of like have undies and things on.
Yeah, I mean,
no top. Thanks so much for jumping on, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember, as always, you're creating absolutely everything in your life. It's so possible for you to create anything you can imagine. And I'm so looking forward to working with some of you beautiful ladies next year.
Love you, babe.